Good morning and welcome to your Farm and Home Show. My name is Joanna Coles, and this morning we're visiting with Greg Drake, Butler County Extension Agent for Agriculture and Natural Resources. Good morning, Greg.
Good morning, Joanna. Great to be with you.
Well, I'm glad you're here today because you're going to talk about one of my favorite things, and that's maple syrup. But a lot of times when we think of maple syrup, we think of the New England states and those type of things, but we can actually make maple syrup right here.
Absolutely. We can make maple syrup right here in South Central Kentucky. We've actually got a small number, but we do have some commercial enterprises where they're making and selling a lot of maple syrup. But we've got a lot of maple trees in our woodlands, and families can certainly make maple syrup on their own for their own family's use. And just a very few trees will provide enough maple sap to make quite a bit of syrup. But yeah, we do think of it as a Vermont thing, but there's a lot of maple syrup that can be made from the trees in South Central Kentucky.
Now, Greg, it sounds like, though, you would have to know a bit about the process because it is. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. It's not a quick process to make maple syrup.
No, it's not a quick process, but it's a very natural process. You're getting something from the land, from nature that's here. The difference is maple sap, when we collect it out of the trees, is 2% sugar. And we have to boil all that other water away to get left with maple syrup. Now, it is the time of year, sort of its prime time right now, because we need to tap trees in the woods and maple trees, and you can get sap from several different kind of maple trees. And the University of Kentucky, we have Forestry One, the publication to help people identify the maple trees. But we would tap those trees, and what we need is for the tree to freeze at night and thaw in the day. If it gets cold and stay cold, we don't get sap out of them. If it gets warm and stays warm, we don't get sap out of them.
And so there is some preparation. You have to go out there and tap these trees and wait for that freezing and warming up. And then you collect the sap.
We think about these little devices. This is called a spile, or it's a spout. We drill a 7/16 hole into the tree, and we install this in it, and we hang something on it to collect the sap. And a good tree, a good tap might run 4 gallon of sap out in a 24-hour period. But then you have to take that sap out and take it back to somewhere that that you can cook it down. And then you're going to boil away 40 gallons of water to make 1 gallon of syrup. So you have to have 40 gallons of sap to make a gallon of syrup.
I would say that there's some pride in that to be able to take that resource from the trees and turn it into maple syrup. Now, Greg, you're offering kind of a course for people if they're interested in doing this.
Absolutely. Right now, I am teaching a maple syrup class through the Butler County Extension Service. We're doing it online as a series of YouTube videos. So somebody can contact the Butler County Extension Office, and I will send them different video segments, Joanna. One would be on tapping. One would be on collecting the sap and taking care of it and keep it in a good, cool condition until we cook. One would be cooking the sap and how to safely cook that sap. One would be actually finishing the syrup. And water boils at 212 degrees, right? Well, as the sugar content is higher in what you're boiling, that boiling point comes up. And that's how we determine when it's actually finished and going to be syrup. So there's quite a bit to it. But if somebody's interested, I would love to have our viewers in South Central Kentucky contact the Butler County Extension Service and make syrup this year for your family.
Some people are looking for things to teach their children, while they're not in school full time in person. And what a great way to go out into the woods and be able to bring something home and make something great like maple syrup.
I was talking to a guy that was going to do the class, and we were talking about that opportunity to go out with your family and get that sap out of the woods. And you're not just going to pack 20 gallons of sap out of the woods. So people do need to think about, if I tap trees, how am I going to get all this sap out? We have to think about a lot of stuff instead of just going out and drilling holes in trees. There is a lot more to it.
So you get some great maple syrup and get a workout as well. And so, Greg, thanks for the information. If you're interested in taking this maple syrup class, make sure to contact the Butler County Extension Office for more information and to get registered. Thanks, Greg, and we appreciate you watching and hope you have a great day.